And we're live. There we go. Oops, hang on. Step one. Maybe I had to hit the share button. It's weird having to do the producing sometimes. Hold on.
You're
Share.
recording all this, by the way.
There we go. I do realize that. So it's okay. Here we go. Hit and flow.
Welcome to Earl and the Idiot, the show that gives you the answers you need to take your business to the next level. With Earl Flormata, one of Vancouver's most sought-after business and marketing consultants, author of Business Engine Optimization, consultant to over 60 successful businesses, an all-around evil marketing genius with a combined total of more than $70 million worth of sales to his credit. And some idiot. Okay, here we go.
Go indeed.
Idiot. I'll tell you why I'm not an idiot this week. I don't know if you notice. You may not be immediately obvious to you what is not happening.
Your background is clear and there's no weird stuff showing up in the background. I don't know what you did.
There's that. I wonder if there's a factor. You notice the camera is not shaking.
Oh, did you stabilize the camera or something?
Yeah,
Or
I just figured out I can just I got one of those 3M Velcro things. I just stuck it on the wall behind the computer.
nice. That's pretty cool.
Now I
There
don't
you
have to
go.
worry about I can lean on my desk provocatively, like I'm Larry King or something.
Right, right. And it
Hmm.
doesn't shake the crap out of your camera no more.
Exactly. Can dance and do everything and not worry about it.
Excellent.
And that might make the green screen better. I wonder if part of the green screen's problem was like it was a little shaky, so it was harder to identify what was moving and not moving. And
It's true. There's a lot of weird math if you're moving around and the background's moving around and the camera's moving around. I guess that's a lot more processing than it.
what's it supposed to do? Is it? Anyway.
That's normal when you put a green screen on. Like anything outside of your silhouette gets weird. So you just put stuff in front of your chest if you want to show it, and it's fine, right? But then
Yeah.
the moment you go outside of that thing, this isn't the green screen, but yeah, it just gets weird.
If I move
It's like
it,
an
no,
online
it doesn't.
magic trick.
It doesn't. I'm trying to figure out if it like it sort of flops in and out. Anyway,
Sort
this
of.
is what the viewers tune in for. I was trying to figure out how green
It's
screens
like a
work.
T-Rex, and if you stay still, it's better. I don't know.
Its vision is based on movement. How's it going, Earl?
I am doing well, although I'm a little freaking out, just a little bit. I'm
Okay.
being shipped off on another trip,
Oh,
so
oh
I'm
no.
still a little traumatized from the airline experience. So we shall see. We shall
Well,
see. I already booked the ticket, so I'm leaving next week.
did you
Um,
book it with WestJet?
no, absolutely not. No, just no. I
Just
didn't even
no.
look. I didn't even want to check what their ticket price was. I'm like, yep, nope, not. I'm too traumatized.
Yeah, I've never developed all the flying I did. I never developed a preference for airlines. Um, I've heard Spirit is bad, but I don't think I ever flew on them. And
Hmm.
it always cracks me up when they're like, "Thank you for choosing to fly with us." I was like, "It was the cheapest ticket." I do not assume any brand loyalty, but now you actually have a reason to pick one over the other. You get to pick our only other airline.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we only have two, so it's quasi monopoly. So it's this situation. So it's like, well, yeah, either this one or that one, right? So, and the funny thing is, whenever I used to book the other airline, Air Canada, back in the day, it used to suck,
Yeah,
and
I was like Air Canada was the crappy one.
I had the best friggin' service experience ever when they switched me to Air Canada. To switch me when WestJet shot the bed. So
Hmm.
yeah,
So it's Air Canada this time.
it's Air Canada this time. But now I'm
All
going
right,
to Vegas, so now it's international travel. La da da. Who knows? We'll see.
all right. Well, make sure your passport's in order.
Oh, speaking of which, that shit's expiring. So it's like, oh god.
Oh my God, dude, you can't go down there with a passport that is expiring, right? You got to have like at least 6 months, I think, of time left on it.
No, no, it's fine. It's the other countries that freak out a little bit.
Well, America's been freaking out a little bit more than usual lately,
Oh,
so
that's also true. Oh crap. I guess I'm gonna learn the hard way this time.
yeah,
We'll
you come in.
see.
There you go. If they do detain you for any length of time, that'll just be content for our next show.
Absolutely.
How to not detain your customers.
Well, yeah, maybe I'll have to get that custom shirt. It's not gay if it's a TSA, right? So,
Yeah, they love it when you wear that.
oh yeah. So,
Okay, what's in Vegas? What's going on?
the Gartner Group is having a an event.
Oh,
So if you've ever heard of this magic thing called the Magic Quadrant, it's where they show who the movers and shakers are in particular industries, and so yeah, it's a really good space for us. We're a member, and it's a great place to go finding partner deals.
oh, cool. Are you going to schmooze or are you going to talk?
No, I'm schmoozing this one, so I get to be a participant and schmooze and hang out and check out the booths and shake hands and whatnot. And then the
Nice.
next one that's coming up in June, in Toronto, I'm a speaker again. So
Okay. And we should have done a show about schmoozing. When are you going?
I leave on Monday, and so yeah, actually. So speaking of which, there's no show next week because I'll be trapped in Vegas.
Fair
So
enough. Well, we should have done a show on how to schmooze. I guess we sort of are doing a show on how to schmooze a little bit. Pretty good segue.
it's events. It's not the schmooze part of the event. Well, sort of, sort of.
I'm sure you can't have if you're putting on an event, you got to be schmoozing.
There's some schmoozing I think in the text. I read a little bit of it today this time just so I wouldn't like repeat myself 11 times.
All right. All right. So this was the. Oh yeah, we'll do the introduction, I guess. We're seeing. I saw what it was 80 something views on LinkedIn and 100 something on Facebook. I forget what the numbers were.
Oh, we're closer. We're closing in on 300 on each. So
300 each. Wow. Go us. I'm gonna bring you up on the live. Here you are.
Hmm.
Then I can see if anybody's chiming in.
Oh, right. I forgot there's a tool for that.
Yeah, one viewer. It shows one viewer.
Excellent.
Is that us? Oh, we count. No,
No.
I can't. Maybe I count as a viewer.
Unless you're watching us on the thing, no.
Well,
So,
I just pulled it up on Facebook.
okay,
Anyway,
maybe.
viewer. Hey, one viewer, just make a comment so we know you're there. Okay. But that's good. When I pulled it up, when I pulled up Facebook, it was right there, letting me know that Earl Flormata is currently live. So Facebook is kind enough to push it out to people.
We'll see.
Is
But
it live on?
it's also
live on-
deleting our old. It's also deleting our old shows. It's like you got run
Yeah.
out of space on the Facebook. I'm like, all right. I didn't think there was a space thing on the Facebook, but all right. And it's like, hey, we're gonna delete your stuff from like a year ago. I'm like, sure, go ahead. So
There
all
we go.
good.
Here's the live on. It's weird watching myself with a several second delay. Here's the live on the LinkedIn. There we go. So I can have these running in the background. I can just check in if we get any comments. There you go. Interactive show, live chats.
All right.
So this is Earl and the Idiot, and we are here to bring you information to help your business. As you heard in the beginning, Earl is a very smart guy, very successful guy, and he's got a head full of wisdom. And I'm here to ask stupid questions. That's why I'm the idiot. I ask the dumb questions to get the smart answers for you. And the way we do it, because we're lazy slash smart, is well, one of us is anyway.
Efficient.
Efficient, yes. I mean, lazy and efficient, two sides of the same coin.
Yo.
My laziness leads me to come up with all kinds of efficient ways to do things. So the way we do it is we get ChatGPT to lay out show notes for us and tell us what we're going to go over, and then we go over it and we discuss and expound upon ChatGPT's wisdom or lack thereof.
I think I have more fun when there's lack thereof. Like if it's right, it's cool, and I give an example. But if it's like absolutely wrong, I think we have more fun.
Yeah, well, you know what's better about that is if ChatGPT says it to be true,
Yes.
it means that it's the conventional wisdom, right? That's what ChatGPT is. That's almost a good description of it. It's conventional wisdom. So if you could say, actually, this is wrong, it feels more useful because it's sort of what everyone's expecting when they find out, no, don't do it that way. Do it Earl's way instead. More beneficial to them, I think.
Probably, yeah. So what was it? If you can follow the conventional wisdom, you're following the wisdom of the masses, and sometimes the M is silent. So
right. Or if you follow the herd, all you see is assholes. Like that one. I also got a second monitor, so now I don't have to click between.
Aren't you fancy?
Yeah, I'm really entering this really getting into this technology thing. I think this internet thing is going to go far, actually.
we've upgraded from the tin can and the string. That's good.
Yeah, right. Okay, so we're 5 minutes ahead of time and jumping right into it, but let's jump right into it. Dive right into it. Time for another Earl and the Idiot show. We have our standard 3-2-1 model. 3 things to do, 2 things to avoid, 1 red hot tip on using events to promote your business. Maybe we can hop from small businesses to mid-sized businesses for each entry on this round. Oh, that's why I gave us like a oh
A funky
it
table.
yeah, it gave us a table here, but it's not giving small and medium business for each of the steps. Each step, it's picked one size of business for that.
That's cool. Well, the show is only an hour, so whatever. So
Yeah. That's fine. So ChatGPT says, absolutely. Here's a spicy 3-2-1 breakdown for the Earl and the Idiot show. Focus on using events to promote your business with a hop from small business to mid-sized business as we go. ChatGPT was doing that thing a while ago, or just a while ago this week, where it was being like too complimentary.
yeah, it was being too. Oh, your idea is wonderful, even though your idea is full of
Yeah.
crap. So yeah,
Someone literally told ChatGPT that they have a new idea for a business of selling shit on a stick.
yes, and it's
And
like
it was like,
wonderful idea. You should
brilliant
totally
idea. It's like,
do that.
it said it really taps into the cynicism of our time. You've really got a tiger by the tail here. Like, oh my God. But
No, not.
I told it when it started doing that, I was like, I actually gave it instructions. I was like, listen, you don't need to blow smoke up my ass. I feel like we're swearing more on today's episode. You don't have to blow smoke up my ass. Just give me the straight goods. Like, yeah, just get to the point. And so now I'll be like, hey, ChatGPT, how do you change the aspect ratio on this file editor? And it's like, all right, here you go. Here's the no nonsense, nitty gritty, balls to the wall breakdown on how to change that aspect ratio. Like, Jesus Christ, what are you, a radio DJ?
Yeah,
I
monster
thought it was
truck
funny.
rally announcer. Anyway,
Yeah. Yeah, it's just the most mundane task. It's like, all right, strip down bare. Here's the facts on how to change the aspect ratio on that video editor. Like, just tell me. Just come on. Anyway, here we go. So this is, oh yeah, that's why we have the background here. I didn't try to make a new background for each week's episode.
so
With
it's
of all
the
things,
stage
ChatGPT.
pitch guy.
Yeah, I literally wrote in the description, give me an annoying businessman. Give me a pitch. I love this. I love this genre of character. In TV shows, the tie's always a little bit too tight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a little
The
bit.
collar's a little tight, and they like look like they're getting angry, and they start pulling at their collar, and they're turning red.
That's why I never like ties. It's like let's start the day by tying a small noose around my neck. A
Yeah,
good plan. So I do wear ties when it's formal enough that it requires like black tie service or whatever. And then I put on the penguin suit, and that's fine.
yeah,
But as a general thing, maybe not so much.
yeah. I've had more than a couple of jobs that required ties, so got pretty used to it. I can now tie a tie while I'm running up a flight of stairs when I'm late for work. So
That's
a skill.
impressive.
That's a skill I developed. My brother, I remember at Christmas time one time, my little brother, got a tie, and he's like, I think I had one too. I can't remember how we both had ties. And he's like, oh, let's have a tie tying contest. I was like, oh, okay, done. Didn't know he was working with. Anyway, now we're diving. There's 20 minutes. Now we're diving right into it. So this is tips on marketing your business at events. Probably not like this.
No.
Although who knows? Maybe that might be refreshing now. At least this guy's not BSing you. He's giving you the straight goods. All right. So number one thing to do for small businesses. This is interesting. This is the first tip. Bring the damn QR code. Whether it's a pop-up or networking event, bring a sign with a scannable QR code to your lead magnet or offer. Make it frictionless. Nobody wants to manually type in earlflormata.biz/free-ebook-v2.html. Calling you out, Earl.
So yeah, I agree with that. Bring the
Yeah.
damn QR code because back in the day, QR code was this newfangled thing that no one knew how to work. And funny thing is, some old people still don't know how to work the QR code. They're like, "How can we do this again, Sonny?" But for the vast majority of the people that are going to be your target demographic in your target market, most people know how to scan a QR code. And the funny thing is, this came about from the whole COVID scenario, right? Because oh no, we can't touch the menu; it's full of germs. So you can touch your phone, which is full of germs. I think I think there was a test where they're like, you know what, the amount of random fecal matter on regular people's cell phones. So I wipe down my cell phone now. It's like, ugh. So I have these cell phone wipes that I actually use anyway. But the thing is saying bring the damn QR code. Yes, absolutely, yes. Um, when I coach small businesses, I tell them if you have multiple offers and multiple deals and multiple things, bring multiple QR codes. So when people scan each QR code, you can actually count. And then based on the event, I actually tell them make a separate QR code just for that event. And um, if you know what like an urchin tracking module UTM code is, what that is it gives you like a specific code for each one. And so these guys have different UTMs for different QR codes for different things. And I can then extrapolate from that, hey, you went to this event and you got a bajillion leads, and you went to this event and you got three, and all three were you testing the QR code, right? And so that way when you go back to finance and say, yo, finance, can we do this event? And they'll remember, hey, last year we did that event, it was great. Oh, last year we did that event, freaking terrible. We got zero from it. Nobody scanned your stupid code. So that way we know which events we're supposed to do and repeat and which ones we aren't supposed to repeat, right? So yes, I agree with the bring the damn QR code, but you still need to go old school. So you still have to show for the people who are old school type, like a regular old phone number. Remember when you were saying that, like on some van or whatever, it was just their website and their phone number, and that was it. So the AI is thinking that was bad. Anyway, yeah, you still need to go old school so people can type in the website. But like the thing said, don't have it like 3 layers deep, and the file name is, a book's length long. Keep it really simple, right?
That van, by the way, is a big van that said mobile hot tub rentals phone number.
I didn't know you could rent a hot tub.
Well, you see, it works.
Yeah.
And you're like, dang,
dude, now I might do that. MobilehotTubRental.com. Yeah. Because we're gonna have to make a show called Earl and the Idiot and the Hot Tub Time Machine, right? So
I do a show for a hot tub. That'd be fun.
That'd be hilarious. It's gonna knock the microphone in.
I feel like there's a step zero to this to bring the damn QR code. That's sort of unspoken. Come to the event with an offer.
Oh, absolutely. Where it says what's your lead magnet or offer. I can't stress that enough. So I just got back from Quebec from the other trip, right? And there's some people who didn't have an offer. I'm like, why the hell are you here, right? And they had a booth and stuff. I'm like, dude, you have a booth? How much did you pay for this thing, right? Like 10 grand, and you don't have an offer, or your offer sounds so generic, like it was just terrible. I was like, oh yeah, sign up for a thing. I'm like, what do you get? Oh, you nothing. And then I'm like, oh my god, why are you here? And so I felt bad for that company. I won't name and shame, but like, my god, you sent 3 people to an event and your offer was non-existent. Ew, bad plan, right? There's $10,000 you'll never see again.
Yeah, I was just speaking to someone in the group chat the other day about your promo piece didn't have an offer on it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a person. Like, okay, good for you. You know, offer anything?
So yeah. So making that offer thing is super duper important. We talk about this all the damn time. Like, make your offer stand out. But if you have no offer, it's not going to stand out. So there's zero than having a bad offer than having an offer, and you want to get to that just having an offer, like not a bad one, right? And yeah,
copy that. All right. Number 2, speak. Oh, that was for small businesses. But honestly, there any business that shouldn't show up with an offer?
Well, the big business wouldn't have gotten to a big business or a mid-sized business if it never had an offer.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, I guess if you're like sponsoring the event, it's kind of, if you're a big enough business that you're just the sponsor, you're just sort of getting brand recognition. You might be past the offer, although I should still have an offer.
You should still have.
Am I being in it? You should still have an offer. Yeah.
Well, because I've gotten sponsored by like telephone companies and banks and whatever, right?
Yeah.
And just because you're flashing their logo doesn't mean they shouldn't have an offer in that space.
That makes sense. That's why I'm the idiot. All right, number 2. This is for mid-sized businesses. Speak, host, or sponsor. So like F, kill, or marry. Want attention? Get on the mic or be the one paying for the food. We were just talking about that. Sponsorship gets your brand front and center and positioning you as an authority. There's a grammatical error there. The verb tense changes. Sponsorship gets your brand front and center and positioning you as an authority. Oh, I see. Moves you from vendor to industry voice. There we go. I should have just read. I was wrong to doubt ChatGPT's command of the English language.
There you go.
Right. So you move up the scale in terms of how people view you. Is that what I'm getting?
Yeah. So I wish I had my thing with me. I still have my I don't know why I still have my thing. I guess I just never got around to throwing it away. I still have my little lanyard thing with my name on it from the event that happened in Quebec.
Hmm.
And they gave me this extra little thing. So there's little stickers that go on your lanyards. And for those event junkies that know what I'm talking about, it's just these little special ribbons, and you can stack the ribbons, right? And one of the ribbons that had on my particular one, sometimes it says like speaker, right?
Yeah.
And another one that says, let me buy you a drink because I'm a drink sponsor. So
Ah.
one of those things, so those were excellent, by the way. And
What were they?
but
Go ahead and sponsor them on the show.
yeah, exactly. So I was the sponsor for the drinks. That's how we got in on the event. We were the drink sponsor. So they gave me that little thing, and they gave me like 50 drink tickets and said, hand them all out. I'm like, cool. And so, you're the most popular person real quick once you were the one who hands out ye old drinks. So it wasn't an open bar, but there were enough sponsors that it might as well have been, right? But
Mhm.
as one of the sponsors, everyone comes to you. So you literally get to meet the whole room. Right. And so that's really, really cool. So when it says, want attention, get the mic and da da da, sponsorship, yeah, it does. But you have to pick the right types of sponsorship, right? Just like having a logo flash, right? But better if you could put something in the swag bag so people can remember you, right? So many, many moons ago, this is circa 2010, we had these products that we put in the swag bags, and we put them in the swag bags of celebrities.
Oh, yeah.
Freaking amazing. So people would, I won't name names because it's a good thing, but we put this product into the bags of celebrities, and you couldn't have paid for this. The celebrities would open up the bags and go, ooh, and then play with your thing. And they would make their own UGC, user generated content, going, hey, this thing is cool, and then show it to their 10 bajillion followers.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden your website just goes, and then orders come flying in because so and so said this was cool, right? And so yeah, when you're speaking, hosting, or sponsoring, absolutely. But there's creative ways by which to do so that stand out from the rest, right? Another one was we had this. We just brought our own water because this particular convention. I'm not going to name names. I won't name for good. I won't name for bad. And so they were like, this convention was just notorious for being, one, in a really hot area, and two, not giving out water, right? And so what we did was we slapped a bunch of, it was our logo with the word magic water on it. And people would walk off with our swag, which is a bottle of water with our logo on it.
Right.
And the thing is, these stupid bottles were everywhere, right? And I was like, oh, dude, where'd you get the water from? And ta-da, now we're everywhere. So these modalities, these things as like sponsorship, there's intelligent ways by which to go around sponsorship. I'll give you one more. Hell, these could all be hacks of the week. But one of them was we retained, and this is going to sound dumb, okay? We retained the right to have the biggest bag at the event.
Oh, yeah.
Remember this one?
You're telling me about this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
And
one.
so we're like, no one can have a bag bigger than this. And they're like, okay, sure. We'll pay extra. And they're like, you're going to pay us for nothing? Yes. And so, but that bag was at the event everywhere. And then at the airport everywhere. And everywhere we looked, we saw the damn bag because it was so big. Everybody put everything else, and including all the other bags, in the big bag.
All the other sponsors got hidden in your bag.
Exactly. And then so our bag wrapped around everybody else. And we're like, haha, suckers. And so and everyone's like, how'd you get that? Can we make a bag that big? No, bitch, we got the rights to the big bag. So they're like, oh my God, I wish we thought of that. And so this is the cockamamie, like, not so mainstream thought process. Is like, why would you ever in the million years pay for the biggest bag at an event? Because
I'm just kind of mocking it up, just picturing it for myself. It's like I show up at an event, I'm like, hey, I'm Dan, I'm new marketing. Like, okay, here's some guy. Thanks for coming out. But if I sponsor the event, my name's all over, new marketing's all over everything. I'm Dan with new marketing. Oh, you're from that big marketing firm that's sponsoring this whole event. Yes, that's right. It's not just me.
Right. But there's so many ways to go about doing that, right?
Hmm.
There was this one place, it's a photography company, and what they did was they just slammed down on the event and said, "Hey, if there's any extra booths that aren't taken by any other players, we'll take them, but we'll take like a 70-80% discount." And the promoters are like, whatever, it's an empty booth. Either we take 20%, 30% fees, or we take nothing.
Hmm.
We'll take the 20-30%. And so these dudes ended up taking up like 6 or 7 booths in the event. And I'm just walking around going, deja vu? What the I swear to God, I walked by their booth already, right? And then they had these contest wheels, and everywhere you went, you'd see their brand, and you hear that tick 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 of the contest wheel, and like,
Oh yeah.
man, these guys are everywhere, right? But in fact, they got a steal of a deal. So they got another booth at, 20% of the cost. I'm like, damn it, that's smart. So there you go. Another cool, mini hack.
Mini hack. Need a sound for a mini hack. All right, just checking Facebook. No comments yet.
All right.
All right. Moving on. Next thing is this is for all sizes of business. Number 3 to do when promoting at events. Post-event follow-up campaign. The
Mm-hmm.
event isn't over when the lights go out. Create a post-event workflow with thank yous, short recaps, testimonials, and offers. If you met 100 people and only followed up with 2, congrats, you wasted your Saturday. Oh, don't tell me that. I don't want to waste my Saturday.
Absolutely. So yeah, this is actually the more important piece.
Yeah.
In one of the Tuesday talks I run, where I talk about lead generation and all that stuff, sometimes
Mm.
people complain. They're like, "Oh, I need more leads for my business." And I'm like, "That's a complete fallacy, right? You don't need more leads for your business. You need to follow up with the leads you got, right?" Um, I can't remember what this stat was, but it was something ridiculous. Like the average child asks, 75 questions a day. I'm like, holy crap, right? And they
Yeah.
use the word why like, 17 times, whereas the regular adult actually doesn't even ask sometimes.
Right.
And if you don't ask, the answer is no, magically, right? So, yeah. And so, setting up the post-event workflow, like I talked about, thank yous, recaps. Actually, that's one of my secret ninja. Okay, you know what? Screw it. Let's push the button again.
Oh, additional hack of the week.
Additional hack of the week. What I do is when I go to events where I'm not the speaker, I land all the speakers, and all I do is I take a picture of the speaker, and then
Mm.
I listen to what they're saying. And I'm super lazy now. I just turn my phone recorder on, and it just goes boop and it records. And then I throw it into the chat GPT with the transcription and say, "Hey, find me some good quotes," and it does. And I just grab them. Actually, you know what? Screw it. For people who are actually watching this thing, I'm gonna go find it. I have my Canva open somewhere. Here it is. And I'm going to pull it up. So for those of you just listening, I'm sorry. But for those of you who are watching, check this out. So I pulled this particular one from an event I was just at last week. Ta-da! And so this was at this thing called Network Keen. So shout out to Tenbeer. And he said something cool. It was connect, collaborate, conquer.
Hmm.
Here's your networking events. Here's his name, blah, blah. I literally took a picture of him at the event with his little, name tag. I turned it black and white, slapped it onto a Canva profile, and ta-da, looks cool.
Nice.
And so
everybody take note of how many tabs Earl has open.
That's only on one window.
Yeah. Mm.
I buy the most expensive computer so I can have all of the emotional support tabs. So, but yeah. So what happens is that I did this on my phone, and the people sitting next to me are like, "The hell is he doing?" And then I go, "Oh, you want to see?" And I show it to them, and they look at the guy on the stage, and they look at me, and they look at the phone, and like, "What the?" And so they're like,
He
"What
just
the
did
hell?"
that. He just did that.
Yeah, exactly. Like he because he literally just said it. It like echoes in their brain, and they freak out a little bit. But what happens is while they're on stage, because I can rapidly create these things, so I just make it and then I text it to them, or I find them on LinkedIn, or I find them on Facebook, and I send it to them. And the hilarious thing is they get off stage, look at their phone, and then freak the crap out. They're like, "Wait, oh my God." And so because that happens, every single one of them end up connecting with me, right? And because they're usually, a speaker, a coach, a consultant, someone of, largish reach, well, guess what? Not only do I get the kudos from them because they enjoyed that piece of content, I will post it on my socials, tag them, and now their entire customer base is looking at me. Right. So
Nice.
it's a great hack, right? And it takes like 10 seconds to make one of these things. It's not hard if you know what you're doing. Right. And if you don't know what you're doing, buy Canva and then poof, magically can make these things in like seconds. So yeah. Like I didn't even make like all that stuff was a pre-designed template. All I did was swap the picture, change the words, hit go.
Yeah. Brilliant. All
So
right. So now we're coming to things to avoid. I bet you got even more. Do you have more stories of things to do or more stories of things to avoid? What do you think?
I have more stories of things to do now over the years. I used to have a lot of stories of not what not to do, mainly because we screwed it up, right? So
How
one
many
time
times do you?
we ran this thing called Vancouver's biggest networking barbecue event, and the
Yeah.
problem was we didn't have enough barbecues for the amount of people who showed up. And so the line to get the food took for friggin' ever, right? Like, you're just, and we're not making anything spectacular. It's freaking barbecue. It's like hot dogs and hamburgers, right? And so that was the option, a hot dog or a hamburger. And how many do you want? And people would stand in line and the lineup just wrapped around everywhere. We had like 3 gigantic barbecues rolling, but that is not enough for 1,000 people, just FYI.
Well,
So
here's my hack for you. Is you
sure.
put 2 barbecues next to each other, and then the 2 lines kind of won't move in unison, so you can network across the lineup. So you're still networking even though you're lined up for your food.
Absolutely. So no. The funny thing is I did most of my networking whilst in line,
There you
right? So the 2 people in front of me and the 2 people behind me got an earful, right?
go.
So
It's like,
and
how at Disney they figured out that they make the lineup entertaining, and then you don't feel so bad standing in line for 2 hours for a ride.
right. So our little group was really happy, and then everyone else looked bored as shit. So it's just sitting there like this, right? Pretty
Okay,
funny.
there's barbecue. There's not enough barbecue. All right. So what is the thing to avoid for small businesses? Being a business card ninja. Nobody wants to be sneak attacked by your laminated pitch. Build a real conversation, ask what they do, then and only then swap cards.
I like the methodology by which like the Asian cultures trade cards,
Hmm.
right?
2
It's
hands.
very similar. Very
You got to take
similar.
with, got to
Yeah,
take with 2
two
hands.
two hands, little bow, trade cards. It's very ceremonial.
Yeah.
But before they do that, they actually do this piece where it says, "The hell do you do? Build a real conversation and listen to them." Right?
Yeah.
So, because I've seen people just straight pitch. Here's my card, and as fast as they can from person to person. I'm like, does anyone know what that guy does? And everyone's like, nope. So it's really hard to refer people to you or connect to other people if I don't know what the hell you do, right? And it doesn't have to be like your entire life's friggin' story. Just give me a 15-20 second. Hey, I do roofing. Cool, right? And
Yeah.
then whoever needs a roofing, and someone goes, "Oh yeah, blah 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 blah." There's this crazy woodpecker, squirrel combination destroying the top of my house. I'm like, you need to meet this guy, right? And then the networking happens, right? So yeah. And the other trick though is to build that real conversation. Always let the other guy go first,
Yeah.
right? And the neat part of doing that is when you give the other person the attention and the grace to do their thing, right? And you actively, honestly listen to them and ask them engaging questions the entire time. So, how long have you been doing that for? Are you still having fun in the job? Is the market slowing down for you? And you ask them all this stuff, and then they felt really heard and listened to. So, by the time your turn comes around and you're just short and sweet and you've practiced your thing a jillion times, they're like, "Oh wow," right? And they'll remember you. So yeah, absolutely. Ask what they do, and only then swap cards. Otherwise, if you're just giving the cards like Oprah, and you get a card, and you get a card, and you get a card, and no one knows what the fuck you do. Ain't no one they're gonna pull the card out of the pocket and go, I don't remember that guy.
Who's that guy?
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
it.
And of course, also, if you talk to them first and ask them what their deal is, you also find out, oh, this is not really a match. Like this is
Mhm.
not you don't need to go into your pitch. You're like, oh, okay, you're that kind of guy. I don't want to say avoid, but it's like you can
No,
save
no,
time at the thing because you don't
you
necessarily need to go into all spiel if it's not a
change.
fit for you. Hmm?
You change the perception and position of the pitch. When
Yeah.
you know, and this is the cardinal sin of most people who go into marketing. They go, "Can I sell the guy in front of me?" And it's not the guy in front of you you're trying to sell. You're trying to get into their, not pants, but network, right? So, that's the important piece. You want to get into their network. And when you get into their network, everybody has 300 contacts, right? And so if you're playing the networking game and you're trying to sell the guy in front of you, you're failing, right?
Hmm.
You want to sell their network. That's the whole point. So I went to the networking event with Denver and all this stuff. I had coffee with one dude, completely like, nothing. There's nothing that we do together at all whatsoever. However, because I then tapped into, hey, you service these people service these people. Can you connect me to this dude over here? And he said, oh, yeah, absolutely. Guess what? I have the potential for what, 2-3 million in sales now, just because of a friend of a friend of a friend. It's like, oh, yeah, I totally have a guy for that. That's what I mean. Like, don't sell the guy in front of you, sell the network. So,
Nice.
what to do instead? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's hard to stick on a not to do without getting into a to do.
Hmm.
All right. So this is mid-sized businesses. What to avoid? Excuse me. Avoid only measuring vanity metrics. What does that mean? We had 500 booth visits. Means nothing if you didn't capture qualified leads or closed follow-ups. Track leads, conversions, and actual ROI, or just burn your marketing budget in a trash can. It's faster.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is again that back to that cardinal sin. Like you go to the event. Did you follow up with the people? Did you follow up more than once? And here's
Yeah.
the one that's gonna hurt. Did you follow up at least 17 times? And I was like, what? 17? I'm like, yeah, man.
17. Oh my God.
17 is the number of touch points required to extract the most value out of that potential lead, right? And that doesn't mean like harpoon them 17 times with an email, right? There's an email and then there's a reach out on social media. Hey, glad we met at the event. Happy to connect with you, right? And then there's like, hey, do you know any other cool events that are coming up, right? That still counts as a touch point,
Mhm.
right? Would you like to grab a coffee or a beer? Pick your poison, right? And that's another touch point, right? And then send them a text message or an email or whatever. 16 of those, right? And so just for one coffee meet, that's 2 or 3 messages from me already, right? Going, hey, want to grab coffee? Absolutely, cool. When, where, blah 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 blah. The back and forth. There's 3 touches right there, right? And then they
Mhm.
actually meet up with you, and then you have a discussion. And afterwards, hey, thanks for the great afternoon. It was really cool getting to know you. That's 5, right?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, 16, 17 don't sound so bad, right? So there you go. So
Is
that that
that is
that's
where does that number 17 come from?
they did tests to see how many follow-ups were required to extract the most amount of juice for the squeeze. And it settled around that number, and people were just shocked and awed as to how many need to go out. But then once I break it down for you, like, dude, like one coffee, a Zoom meet, and like a high five via an email, and you're almost done, right? Between all the interactions that need to happen, between the introductions that you're going to make for each other, between all that kind of jazz, it doesn't take much, right, to get it there. And if you sequence, like, let's call it, I don't know, 7 of them, right? 10 of them you'll make up on the spot anyways, right?
Right.
So yeah. Hey, my name is Earl. I do this, right? Hey, my network does this. Hey, do you have someone who can do this, right? One of my buddies is looking for a video editor, right? And so that
Brilliant. Do you have a recommendation for like a software or anything to track your follow-ups, or do they all
whichever
pretty
one
much
you'll
work?
actually use.
Right.
That's the honest to goodness. I don't care if you use Monday. I don't care if you use ClickUp. I don't care if you use Salesforce. I don't care if you use Go High Level. It's all the same shit, right? Pipe drive. It doesn't matter which one you use. It's just the one you use, right?
I
So,
used
because
to
if you,
I used to use pipeline deals. That was back in like 2010, I think. Missed that one.
okay,
It was really simple. I liked it.
yeah, I like that one too.
They're too complicated now.
Oh, really? That's a shame.
Hmm?
That's a shame. I like that guy.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Red hot tip. The tip is, it doesn't say what size business. The tip is film everything. That's
Yes.
you just said. Got a speaker? Film it. Got reactions at your booth? Film them. Got someone saying something cool about your product? Capture it. Your content engine just got fed for 3 months. Turn one event into a YouTube short, a LinkedIn post, a carousel, an email header, and a remember when Instagram throwback. You didn't go to the event, you leveraged it.
Absolutely.
Italics. You like this one, I bet.
Um, so it's pretty funny how many pieces of content we ended up making for fuck up nights.
Mm.
And we didn't even use a bunch of them because we made them a little late. And so, but the thing was, like, we actually ended up creating a plan to build out 120 pieces of content, and we made most of them within like a 24, 48-hour period, right?
Yeah.
And so, doing these things, the hilarious thing is, so one of the things we did at fuck up nights was we had this wall of fuck up, and it was just anonymous. And you just grabbed a sticky note and wrote whatever fuck up you did and stuck it back on the board. Well, the hilarious thing is when my business partners get back from that, Dave and Nicole, I think one of them's out on vacation. Dave's on vacation right now. And when he gets back, we're all going to get together, have a lunch, just stick a camera on us, and we're going to laugh while reading other people's fuck ups. Right? That's fun. But this is going to be like a month after the event. So the event is long dead, right? It's already finished. It's already over. We all had a great time. The other one was we just got, oh, give me 1 second.
Nope. I should be filling the air here. All right, Earl's getting right back. There we go.
So we just got back because we had like 3 sets of people doing like film and videos and pictures and whatever for us. And so we just got those back. You know what I've been doing? I've been finding people who were in the picture and then just sending it to them on WhatsApp. Right? And they go, "Oh my God, such a good shot of us." I'm like, "Yeah."
Hmm.
The funny thing is, this is like almost a month out from the event, but I still have stuff that we're doing. So those multiple touch points I talked about, like one of them is just sending them a picture, right? And so there were these two ladies who came to the event, and the photographer just got a really cool shot of them. I sent one, and now there were multiple shots, right? So I
Yeah.
sent one shot to one and one shot to the other one. And then they're friends. So they swapped shots outside of frame. And they're like, "Oh, he sent me this one. Oh, he sent me that one. Wait, we have two different ones." And then they kept on. And then what happened was, it's a simple Jedi mind trick. Earl is cool. Come to his next damn event, right? And so that stuff works because the network of the network happens, and then people go, "Hey, that was amazing." And then when they tell their friends, now these people are going to tell 5, 6 of their friends, "Hey, want to come to this next event?" Absolutely. The last one was a hoot. Cool, right? And then that's just because of that film everything tip, and it's a red hot tip. 100% agree. What's missing is that all the little bits. So it says your content engine just got fed for 3 months. Yes, it did, but so did your networking touch base points, right?
Right. You're also touching base with the people that were in the photos and videos.
Well, the hilarious thing is I got the people in the photos. A lot of them gave me testimonials. So what we'll do is when their testimonial goes live, we'll tag them when we post it.
Mhm.
We're going to strategically do that so closer to, hey, buy more tickets event, right? So, the summer passes by, everyone has their summer vacation, does their thing, goes to the beach or whatever. And then, fall kicks around again. Hey, remember this event? Do you remember how much fun you had at this thing? Look, here's your testimonial from it. Want to come to the next one? I'll give you a discounted ticket if you bring a friend. Easy peasy marketing beyond that point because you took the time to film everything. So that film everything is that basis point, and then the inflection and duplication and multiplication factors happen upon that inflection point. But unless you do the stupid film everything part, you ain't got any of this stuff. So
there you go. ABF, always be filming.
Yeah. AI did a good job on this one. So the stuff that they said is good. Now it's just the weird crap that I said, like magic water bottles and whatever else, right?
Yeah.
Like all the little nuances that you do in the event, during the event, before the event, right? Like most people don't realize that the marketing starts before the event even occurs, right?
Yeah.
Tag a bunch of people that you know are going to the event. Hey, looking forward to meeting you. Awesome. You're the one friendly person, and they see you and they go, "Ah," right? And so what
Yeah.
happens is that your reputation precedes you, right? And if they don't know who the hell you are, guess who they're Googling next, right? So they're gonna find out, and all that stuff adds up. Which brings us to
Brings us to the act. What, did it get cut short? What happened there?
oh, hold on. Hang on a second.
Oh.
Let me try that again. Here we go.
There it is. The actual finally hack of the week.
Actual funny hack of the week. So the hack of the week is partner with meetups, partner with the event people. So other event franchisees and use their architecture to launch their own thing, right? So Fuck Up Nights was one
When
of
you say
those.
when you say meetups, you mean the website meetups?
Well, you go to Meetup, you find meetups that serve your clientele and your target market, and you ask them, "Hey, can I sponsor your event? Can we buy drinks? Can we bring freezies? Can we do whatever?" Right?
Can we bring the barbecue?
Yeah. Well, here's a hilarious one. Like most people don't realize that the hiking meetups are the gigantic ones with like 10,000 members in each one, right?
Wow. Yeah.
And the hilarious thing is if you're the special person who brings freezies to that hike, post hike, you're the most popular person there, right? So that goes back to some of those tips where it says, hey, sponsor the whatever, right? Freezies are cheap as crap, right? So, being the freezy guy, everyone's like, oh my God, the freezy guy. And so when you do that sort of thing, that makes it really cool. So Fuck Up Nights was like a really excellent one that we're utilizing. It's been amazing. They're in like 200 cities. So if they're not in your city or your city is dormant, go get it. Right. So we've already taken over Vancouver and now we're running it in Surrey. Now we're running one in Chilliwack and then we're back to Vancouver again. But now we're the hot ones who run the damn thing and everybody wants to be part of this thing. And it's really cool. So the format is good. Corporates want to sponsor it. So, calling the big guys to sponsor these things, it's a pain in the ass to put on these events and they pay good dollar to put these events on and sponsor them. Right. And they want to look. The other one is we've already gotten 3 people applying to speak at the next event. Right. And the next event's not freaking September. So, we have all these people, hey, I want to speak, hey, I want to speak, hey, I want to speak. We'll never run out of people to speak. Right. And then the funny thing is we can then do spin-offs of this thing under the good old B&M brand. And we can do like a mini fuck up confessions on Zoom or whatever. And then we can do pre-roll content prior to the big event. But because all these people, like the average person has 300 followers, if you do 10 interviews with 10 just randos from your business sector, right? That's 3,000 people who end up seeing your crap, right? How
Then
long
you can tell
did
them
that?
to buy my stuff.
Well, yeah, exactly. But you don't do the buy my stuff on the first pitch. You do the buy my stuff on the second pitch,
Right.
right? So that's why you get all of the influencers first, and then it just happens. And then if you want to make it fancy, do partnership deals, or affiliate deals. And like I said, it adds up and it makes moves over time, man.
Nice. I think that's pretty good timing. Wrapped it up just right at the end there.
Well, there we go.
You look surprised that the show's ending.
Well, yeah, I'm like, oh, we made it to the end. I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess. Well, I'm looking at the notes and it's like, oh, it's the next prompt already. I'm like, oh, okay, shut up now.
That's last week's.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's it. Any final words for our intrepid event attendee crowd out there?
If you ever want to run your own events, attend 10 other events and make notes of what you liked and what you hated, right? And then build the event to the caliber that you wish for it to be built on. So that one where I just flashed, his name is Tanbeer. That's exactly what he did. He attended some of my events, he attended some other people's events, and he just basically Bruce Lee did, right? He took all the shit that worked. He's like, I like this stuff, cool. And then he made his own, and good on him. So
Nice. All right. Well, thank you so much, Earl, for all of the nuggets of wisdom today. Thank you, ChatGPT, for making our jobs really easy. And thank you, everyone, for joining us on this week's episode of Earl and the Idiot.
Thank you, Dan, for being the best damn co-host ever. So
I don't like to brag, but it is actually true.
Here we go.
Thanks for listening to Earl and the Idiot. We hope you learned something you can take action on this week. For more information or to contact the show, visit earlandtheidiot.com. And until next time, remember what Shakespeare said. The fool doth think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool.